Perfect. Perfect.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Nnaishi from the Cap City, Pitori Mahlangeni, and welcome to the Grounded and Fearless podcast, the podcast that is just for you. On this show, we are all about spreading love, life, and growth, as well as discussing unpopular truth. If you are new to the show, do the most, subscribe and follow. If you are a returning listener, thank you so much for the love. We really appreciate the support. And without any further ado, let's get straight to the episode. Enjoy. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Grounded and Fearless podcast. It's good to be back. Sorry for disappearing. Took a short production break, but I'm so excited to be back at it again. And I hope you guys had a great and lovely Easter weekend. For those of you who got to go and visit your families, I hope you guys had a great time back home. And also, just want to send out our heartfelt condolences to the people in KZN with all the flooding that is happening there. We are praying for you guys, and we're just keeping you in our prayers. So the last episode we had was about relationships and houses, and I really enjoyed that episode. Just reminded me of why Grounded and Fearless is my favorite podcast of all time. Anyway, we spoke a little bit about defining things for ourselves in that previous episode. We defined love, and it was so interesting to me to see how everyone had their own different definition for love. It just made me appreciate and see the beauty of individuality as well as the authentic nature of human beings, where no two people are the same. Hence, it is important for us to define the things in our life or give meaning to these things. And ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, that is the topic for today. Giving our own meaning to life. Basically giving our own meaning to life and the things that come with life, such as love, happiness, success, etc. Because we're all different, as I said earlier on. If we don't sit down and actually think about what these things mean for us and define them, we may find ourselves accepting or adopting other people's definitions. We need to sit down and ask ourselves, what does love mean for me? What is success and what does it look like? Where will I find it? And stuff like that. So I am very passionate about defining things for myself as I grow and as I mature and as I walk this journey of life. And that's today's episode, as I said. And there are so many things that we need to define in our lives, and this varies from every individual. But for today's episode, I'm going to be using success to explain why I see defining things as being important, and I'm gonna give an example and also use analogies. You guys know I love analogies. So a practical example is basically with success, everyone has a general idea of what success is, but it varies from individual to individual. So think about it. There's two artists, they're both singers, they both sing the same genre, but their goals or definitions for success are different. The one artist wants to have the one best song in history of that specific genre. Basically, he or she wants one of their songs to be one of the best songs in history. The one artist wants to be one of the top artists in history. Yes, they sound similar, but they are not the same, and that's why it is important to define success for ourselves and many other things in life, because the way these two artists will carry on with their lives will be slightly different, because the one just wants one song that will be amazing, that we'll remember forever. The one artist needs multiple songs that will make her become one of the greatest. And back to the analogy that I touched on earlier, I'll be using a bow and arrow as well as a piece of rope or string, and you want to take that piece of rope or string and tie it to your arrow and just keep it there. But you need a lot of rope because it's gonna go a while. So basically, we're all standing in the middle of a field, and we want success. So back to geography, there's south, west, east, northeast, the directions of the compass. So I think everyone has a rough idea of what success is. So in this case, that rough idea will be south. So we all turn around and face south, because success is that, being independent, having your own things, the vague idea we have of success. But that vague idea is not enough to give someone a direction. You cannot say just walk south and you will find the location of success. You might find it, yes, but it's very vague. And that is what walking without giving your own definition is like. You are following a vague direction. So now we start defining this idea of what success is for us. And then with that, we have a set target. So our definition of success, while we're still facing south, because that is success, we find our own individual target for our arrow and for our bow and arrow. And that defining process is the initial steps we need to take before we can start moving forward. And I like to connect that with you pulling on the arrow, on the bow and arrow, that initial step of pulling the bow and arrow. Because for me, I find it very difficult or challenging sometimes to define things for myself, because you need to sit down and think, what does success mean? What does love mean? What does happiness mean, etc.? So that initial action we take of sitting down and thinking about it is like pulling on that bow and arrow and finding our target. So once we found our target, we know it is south. We just turn 30 degrees to the right. Just tilt your arrow a bit, like high. I don't know how many degrees, 10, depending on what your definition is, obviously. So everyone will have their own target, and then you pull as hard as you can, because now you know how far you must let your arrow go. So you pull as hard as you can, you've defined it, and you let go, and you hit the target, or the arrow flies towards the target. Now we remember the rope we had tied to the arrow. Well, the rope is very important because that rope is going to guide us. We are going to hold on to the rope as we start moving, because on this journey it will get dark. You will get to points where you don't even see the target anymore. You don't even see where you're going, because life comes with challenges. And when the darkness comes, we will still have that rope to hold us and to guide us through the path that we have chosen for ourselves, that we have defined for ourselves. And that rope will just be the hope we have to know that we're still in the right direction, that we may not get lost in life when challenges and obstacles come our way. And that rope will just be there to give us the security, to remind us of where we're going, and we'll just keep our hands on that rope as we walk and move forward. Now, with all that being said, don't get me wrong with this, that if you have your target, you must hit it, because we don't know where that arrow will land on the target. And we might hit the bullseye, we might hit the bigger circles of the target, but that's not the point. The point is we defined it and we shot for it. And missing is part of life. Failures are part of life. So don't lose hope should you shoot and miss. When I think of this idea of shooting and missing, it reminds me of a quote that Rick Rigsby once said, where he said, "I'd rather aim high and miss than aim low and hit." So that should be that motivates me to just aim for what I feel like I want to achieve and not be afraid of missing, because missing is part of life. But the fact that I was brave enough to aim for that specific target and to shoot is what matters most. And yes, you might hit the bullseye, or you might not. You might miss completely, you might hit the outer parts, but we don't always get what we want, or we don't always get it the way we want it. And also, should you start walking on this journey that you are sure of and you've hit the target, but on the way you feel like, no, this is not for me, it is also okay to stop, find another target and shoot for it, and then move on that journey as well. Because TD Jakes is the one that said, if it is not the thing, it'll be the thing that leads to the thing. So basically, with today's episode, I want to encourage each and every one of you beautiful people to find our targets in life. Let us find our targets for love, for happiness, for joy, for success, for whatever thing that you have in your life that means the world to you. Let us find our values. Let us live by those values and our definitions, and just walk on this journey with some sense of direction, avoiding moving in circles or taking other people's definitions and not being true to ourselves. And I would like to leave it there for today. That was a quick and short episode, but that is all that I have for you today. And now we've reached the section of our show where we have our question of the day. And the question of the day is, what is the one thing that you are most grateful for right now, and why? So for me, the one thing that I'm most grateful for right now is my family. And the reason why is because I was home now for the Easter weekend, and I got to spend time with my family, and I just got reminded of like how much they care about me and how much, they love me. And I value relationships and family, and it was just that nice reminder of like there are people who actually want to see me do good and just care about me wholeheartedly and love me. So that is my one thing that I'm grateful for today or right now. And I want to know, what is your thing that you are grateful for? Don't overthink it. I'm not saying if you choose this, you're not grateful for that. I just want to know, what is the one thing that you are grateful for right now? Beautiful people, it's good to be back. God bless you. I love you. Adios. And with that, we have reached the end of our episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of the show today. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow, and also leave a review, as this helps us improve the show, and we are then able to deliver better content for you to listen to and enjoy. And so until we meet again, adios.